What I'm about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about Modern Warfare 4. Korea is not the setting of this game. Korea is the only place on Earth where Makarov's plan to start World War III actually works. And Infinity Ward picked it for a reason almost nobody is talking about. And I didn't believe myself at first. I thought Korea was just a fresh map, a new backdrop, or a way to escape the Urzikstan fatigue we've had over 3 games. But when you mix the geography, the leaks, and Makarov's playbook together, there is too much evidence and too many coincidences for Korea to be anything less than the keystone of the entire Modern Warfare 4 story. So if you watched any of my videos before, you'll know I'm a Call of Duty nerd. I've been tracking the Modern Warfare 4 leaks since the first DMZ 2.0 file dropped, and I have covered the Makarov campaign theories from every angle. But every theory I've seen treats Korea like it's incidental. It's a new map, a new flavor, just a new coat of paint on the same Makarov playbook. It's not. Korea is the entire point. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why, across the 3 moves that Makarov has planned for Modern Warfare 4, that makes the Korean Peninsula the most important location of Modern Warfare 4. So let's dive into it real quick. The leaks confirm Modern Warfare 4 picks up right after Modern Warfare 3. Price killed Shepard, Makarov killed Soap, and Makarov and the Konni Group are running false flag operations across the entire globe to ignite World War III. The same things that happened at the end of Modern Warfare 3 are just going to keep rolling over. And one of those operations is a major terrorist attack on New York City, staged to look like North Korean operatives carried it out. Now stop for a second. Why North Korean operatives? Why not Russia? Why not Iran? Why not generic terrorists like we've had in every other Modern Warfare game so far? Because only a North Korean false flag operation triggers the chain reaction Makarov needs. And this is where Korea reveals itself as the key, because there's a little bit of math here that nobody's showing you. The United States and South Korea have a mutual defense pact going back to 1953. North Korea and Russia have their own treaty that's been going back many years. In between North and South Korea is the most militarized zone in the world, the most deadly zone in the world, the real world DMZ. So the second the United States believes that North Korea has attacked New York City, the dominoes fall in the exact order Makarov needs. The United States has to respond. Its treaty obligations demand it. South Korea is pulled in by alliance, and North Korea is pulled in because everyone thinks they did it. So they're going to turn to their ally Russia to supply them with arms, munitions, bombs, everything they can need to defend themselves from South Korea and the United States. And this matters a lot because Makarov doesn't have to start the war himself. He just has to pick the one country on Earth whose attack on America would force 5 superpowers into the same room at the same time, and there is only one country that does that. Korea is the trigger because Korea is the only country that can trigger all of them at once. I don't think this is a coincidence. Infinity Ward did not pick North Korea because it was edgy. They picked North Korea because it's the geopolitical equivalent of a landmine connected to every superpower on the Earth. Setting it off would set off everybody. And Makarov is pulling at the tripwire to set it off. But here is where Makarov goes off script, because Konni Group is not powerful enough to start a world war on its own. Konni needs ground, Konni needs a safe harbor, and Konni needs a state actor willing to give them space to operate from. And once again, Korea is the only answer that works. North Korea, specifically. He can't hide in Russia because there is too much intelligent oversight, too much risk of exposure, and they try to throw him in prison in a gulag for his entire life. He can't hide in Iran because it's too closely watched by American intelligence. He can't go back to Urzikstan because they're just looking for him. And he can't hide anywhere inside a Western allied country because that's where his enemies live. But North Korea. North Korea is one of the most opaque countries on Earth. It is the only nation where an entire mercenary force can operate, train, and stage attacks with 0 satellite coverage, 0 Western intelligence, and 0 people in the country willing to rat you out. North Korea is not just a hiding place, North Korea is the one hiding place big enough to host a war machine. So Makarov walks into North Korea, offers Konni Group services to North Korea. He hands them an army, weapons, intelligence, and in exchange, North Korea hands him the one thing he cannot get anywhere else on the planet: geographic invisibility. And it's funny because Makarov has aligned with countries in the franchise before. He has aligned with different groups in this franchise before. And the second they stop being useful, he drops them. He's going to do it again, and the pattern is right there. But before the betrayal, the escalation looks like this. Konni operatives staged attacks against South Korean targets while wearing North Korean uniforms. South Korea retaliates, believing they are responding to North Korean aggression, and the US backs South Korea. North Korea is backed into a corner. And then, Makarov stages an attack that pulls in Russia directly. He hits Russian soil near the North Korean border and the Tumen River, and makes it look like a US or South Korean strike. Now, here's the part where Korea reveals itself as the keystone to all of this once again. Because the only place on Earth where you can stage a false flag attack that simultaneously implicates South Korea, the US, and makes geographic sense to Russia is along the Tumen River, right where North Korea, Russia, and China all touch. 3 borders, 1 attack, 1 war. When you put it together, this is not 3 separate conflicts that he's building 1 conflict, engineered by the will of one man, designed to look like 4 different wars to 4 different governments, and it's only possible because Korea is the one piece of real estate on the planet where all 4 wars can be started in the same square mile. Now let's look at the third move, because Makarov is not in North Korea to save North Korea. Makarov is in North Korea because North Korea is the most isolated, the most armed, the most volatile country on the Korean Peninsula, and the most volatile country in the world with nuclear missiles. And he needs all of those to be true for what comes next, because once Russia is pulled in, Makarov will turn on his host. He will flip on North Korea and hand them to the wolves. He will use the chaos of the Korean Peninsula at full-scale war as the launch pad for everything else. And this is the part the community is forgetting about. North Korea is not the enemy of Modern Warfare 4. North Korea is the fire pit. North Korea is the place where the sparks will catch up and the flames will spread outward into Russia, into Chinese interest, and into US deployments across the Pacific. The Korean Peninsula becomes the launch pad for a war that was never about Korea in the first place. But here's why Korea is the only place it works. Korea is the only country that borders 3 nuclear powers: China, Russia, and itself. Korea sits inside the busiest military development corridor in the Pacific. Korea is in striking range of Japan, Taiwan, and the entirety of the US Pacific Fleet. And Korea is the one place where a regional war cannot stay regional. Every neighbor is too invested in Korea to pull out. So when you pick any other country on the map, the war would stay contained. But if you pick Korea, the war eats the world. That is the key. That is why Makarov picked it. That is why Infinity Ward picked it. Because look at what the leaks are telling us. Task Force 141, the British SAS, the Republic of Korea Army, all playable factions, 3 different militaries from 3 different countries, all converging on the same peninsula. That is not a story about a regional conflict. This is not a Korea story. It is the story of a world war that only starts because Korea is the keystone to Makarov's entire plan. And if you thought this breakdown made you see Modern Warfare 4 differently, hit subscribe. But if you want to know why Makarov and Barkov are so important as characters who have worked together, click on this video right here. And until next time, I am IceBurgz. Stay frosty.